Hey, this is Willie Crawford coming to you from aboard the Carnival Freedom on Tuesday morning, January 17th at 6:30 in the morning. And this is what it looks like on the 10th deck of the cruise ship. I'm actually going to go look over the side and see if we can see the ocean for you. If we can't, we won't worry about it. You can see there's a life ring there, what's tossed to people that you can't even see in the water. You can't see the ocean below, but all you see is that the ship is displacing a lot of it, and the wind blowing across the microphone made it hard to hear anyway. This is the deck below. There's the jacuzzi, the two jacuzzis, where a lot of us marketers do actually hang out and network, and just below that is one of the pools on the main deck that's looks like it's been drained and being refilled, and so they're recycling, they're cleaning the pool there. And basically the crew is just setting up. There are very few people up and about at this time. If we look below the shelter areas or the side walkways, you do see people sitting around having their first leisurely cup of coffee. And yeah, 90% of the ship is probably, 90% of the passengers are asleep. 90% of the crew is probably up and about this morning. And some people are already grabbing breakfast. It'll probably be a couple of hours before I grab breakfast. And then later today, I've got a couple of scheduled appointments with people as a joint venture broker. Part of my reason for being on the cruise is to discuss joint ventures with people and deals. And so I'm going to meet with some of those people. Let me see if I can get a little more out of the wind, maybe to keep the noise down on the microphone. But I'm going to meet with people one-on-one who have product launches coming up, and we'll be discussing those things. And what I do is I actually end up scheduling things as far as 6 to 9 months in advance. People will tell me they're working on something very large because I only take on joint ventures as a broker that are quite substantial. And so I'll go ahead and flow those into my schedule, partly to promote them, but also mostly usually to work as a joint venture broker on helping them to, first of all, look at their marketing funnel, look at their marketing materials, look at their the product, and once I'm convinced the product is only the best, and that I'm happy in not only representing it to my customers, but to my joint venture partners that I typically go to their customers, then I'll take the product on as a broker, and I had to step a little more out of the wind, take the product on as a joint venture broker. And so that's what I'm doing on the cruise. I have certain people who have very large projects, or they're launching major new webinars, and they're looking for, and they have products in the typically $9.97 to $19.97 range. Those are the products I take on as a broker most often. And I go out and I find mostly marketers comfortable with selling big ticket items, and we roll them out. I approach hundreds, if not sometimes over 1,000 potential JV partners, and we make it happen. So that I'm up now getting my first cup of coffee, or my second cup of coffee shortly, and then I'll think about the day. This day is day, let's see, we left on Sunday, and we were at sea all day Monday. I'm sorry, yeah, we left on Saturday, and all day Sunday we were at sea, and Monday we spent at Cozumel, and we'll be at sea all day Tuesday, and Wednesday we'll be in beautiful Costa Rica, Limon, Costa Rica, where I'm going to go zip lining for the first time in my 53 years, nearly 53 years. I turned 53 in March, so I'm looking forward to that. My wife keeps trying to talk me out of it, but I have lots of insurance, so she has nothing to worry about. And quite honestly, I've been told, and I believe, that zip lining off the side of a mountain strapped to a little cable is every bit as safe as getting in your car and driving out on the local highway. In fact, it's much safer. And so they take all kinds of precautions. They're constantly inspecting the equipment and things like that. So I'm looking forward to it. It's stepping out of my comfort zone, which I think is important, because if you only do things that you're totally comfortable with, you won't grow, you won't allow yourself to do things that will set you apart, and that's what a lot of what I do is about. In fact, I over and over again encourage people to look at what it is that's holding them back, and the reason I do that is because it's often unwarranted fears that let us just be happy. If you give yourself permission to enjoy life more, which is what I've done. I've said to myself, you know, I grew up on welfare and on a farm working my butt off and not really making a lot of money. So I said, you know, why don't I give myself to go cruising as often as I want to, give myself permission to work from exotic beaches around the world, give myself permission to be happy, give myself permission to love people and to be loved and not be afraid to show that, give myself permission to have as much money as I want, money that is not necessarily for selfish purpose, but to spend it on things I care about, such as cancer research and helping people in some third world countries where thousands actually die every year from smoke asphyxiation as they're just breathing charcoal fumes, and their kids have all kinds of respiratory diseases that may shorten their lives by half of what other parts of the world experience. And so I help with projects like that, with projects actually that tackle deforestation of the rainforest and that tackle crime and that tackle a lot of things. So I'm on some projects actually that are in the billions of dollars with World Bank and United Nations backing. So it's not just internet marketing I'm involved in, but I give myself permission to try amazing things totally out of my comfort zone, things I've never done before, and I'll credit part of that growth with some training I took from my friend Brian Ridgway. He calls it level 5 mentoring or level 5 training, and he just teaches you to stretch and to actually go back to your true nature as a person, to acknowledging, what it is that makes us creatures, acknowledging what the system, the education system, our governmental system, our religious systems, our societies have done to us as far as teaching us to conform, to fall in place. And once you and I studied sociology back in college and know that, we're all socialized. We're taught how you're supposed to behave. And most institutions like governments and like schools teach you, not to rock the boat too much, yet it is by rocking the boat that you excel and you step out and you become awesome, and that's how you become a multi-millionaire. That's how you become famous. That's how you change the world. That's how you make a difference in the world. And so Brian's training has actually drawn that out of me more than anything else I've ever taken part in. And I'd like to encourage you to check out Brian's training, since I like to give you something to do when I do a video rather than just having you listen to the wind blowing over my microphone. I'm going to encourage you to go to the link directly below this video, click on that link and register for a free webinar where you'll learn how I have totally given myself permission to love my customers, unconditionally, so that I honestly ask myself, is this product or service in the best interest of not only my customers, but my customers' customers, because often my customers are other affiliate marketers. So I ask, am I taking care of those other affiliate marketers' customers? Because if they burn their customer list out, they'll be out of business soon. And if they burn their customers will never have successful businesses. So I look at the world from that perspective, and I give myself permission to honestly, look those customers in their eyes and care about them, and that level of connection and caring about humans in general, other people in general, some of whom probably even hate my guts, I care about. And that level of just being able to let go and be who I truly want to be and who I'm happy with and whom I'm not in conflict with, and to be totally in love with life and my children and my wife and my family. And not everybody gets along perfectly. That's fine. That's the way the world operates. I live in a way where I know that I've done the best I can do, and that's all that really matters. And I can accept people the way they are. All that came from Brian's training. But right now I'm on a cruise, a 8-day cruise, where I have absolutely no concern over money. When we get to a port and we're shopping, and my wife is looking at overpriced trinkets or jewelry or whatever, she isn't, she doesn't go overboard, but if she sees something she wants, she doesn't have to think twice about whether or not we can afford it, or that I'm going to make a big deal out of it, because I won't. I don't care. I'm about being happy, and she understands that, it's not conspicuous consumption or anything like that. But my point is I don't have to worry about money anymore. I know that there's, in an abundant universe where we're on a ship, one of the ships I was looking at can have 5,000 passengers, and it's probably got 3,000 crew members. This ship probably, I don't know how many it has, probably close to 4,000. And so I look at a marvel like that out floating, a floating city, and I realized that we're in a limitless universe. I looked at the oceans when I was on Costa Rica and just marveled at the hydroelectric power in the waves crashing on the shore, and the power generated by the wind. That's untapped natural energy, and we are in a universe awash in riches and resources. These oceans have billions, probably trillions of fish, and all kinds of life. And while we don't need to harvest it all, we live in a universe that's without limits. And so I'm about stepping beyond the limits that I've allowed society largely, and culture and conditioning to put on me, and to become who I truly am. And so again, tomorrow in Costa Rica, I'll go ziplining. I'll look over the edge of the cliff as I strap on this flimsy parachute harness, and if I think about it too much, I'll probably have some slight second thoughts, and then I'll commit and I'll go. And I will not be the first one off the tower, and I won't be the last one off the tower. And so it's just stepping out of your comfort zone. And again, I want you to check out Brian's training, though. It's not really as much about stepping out of your comfort zones, although it does make you slightly uncomfortable because it challenges your belief systems. We're taught to conform. We're taught not to rock the boat, and get a 9-to-5, go to high school and then college, get good grades, get a job, keep that job all your life, and when you're 65, you can retire and be miserable and die shortly after you retire because you're not happy and you're worried about everything, and because of worry, your veins, your system is constantly excited, and too much adrenaline is pumped into it because you just feel threatened with life, and that causes inflammation, which the veins and your organs are constantly upset, and it causes you to die early. So I believe in being relaxed, being happy, enjoying life, caring about other people, sharing. And I think that if you tune into this free webinar I've mentioned already, the link directly below the video, that in itself will reframe your approach and your process on how you deal with life. And I think that you'll enjoy the webinar, and you'll thank me for having referred you to it. So this is Willie. I've got to upload this from a cruise ship where the connectivity is about, the speed is probably a fourth of what I'm accustomed to, if that much, because it's a satellite connection, and the fastest times are actually when most of the ships are asleep, so there are fewer people using the same connection. So I need to get this video uploaded to YouTube so I can share it with you guys. This is what the cruise ship looks like. You got people out mopping the deck. You got the cookers putting out, the wait staff putting out food. You've got some elderly folks mostly out walking around the deck. The ship does have a track. The ship has Zumba classes early morning. The ship has a lot of things. In fact, one of the Marketers Cruise members, Michelle Gavin, teaches one of the Zumba classes. But right now, it's a sleepy ship with very few people up and about. And I'm up and about because I wanted to get a quick video done, and I wanted to get that first cup of coffee, or first 2 cups of coffee into me. I did notice I'm addicted to coffee still, and if I don't have my coffee, I get a caffeine headache, and so I don't like having headaches. This is Willie, and I thank you for listening to my rambling and for putting up with my jumpy video because of the wind here. I'll be back in touch with you guys shortly.